Good morning, beautiful souls, and welcome to the final day of week one. Mindful Momentum Challenge is building momentum. You guys are making it. This is great. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most powerful practices for self-transformation, and this is mirror work. The way that you talk to yourself literally shapes your reality. Science shows that your brain actually processes self-talk as direct commands. This is one of those areas where self-doubt and low confidence really builds up because of the conversations that we are having with ourselves. When you look at persons like Louise Hay, who spend all of their time talking about self-affirmation, it's really to support the development of how you see yourself so that your reality can reveal to you exactly what you see. Here is what is fascinating about mirror work. When you combine self-talk with eye contact, the impact doubles up because you're both engaging the verbal neural pathways as well as the visual neural pathways. For some of us, myself included, I used to not even pay attention necessarily to myself in the mirror. And what I mean by that is not about putting on makeup or making sure that my outfit fits right, but really connecting with myself, looking at myself in the mirror and talking to myself. Now, there are some mornings where I'm just like, hey girl, what's up, Stacy? Ooh, you look so good. How are you feeling? Like literally talking to myself. At first, I'll admit it was a bit uncomfortable because I was like, am I crazy? Am I supposed to be talking to myself? But the more I started to use affirmations in my day-to-day, I was actually just drawn to encouraging myself while I was standing in front of myself in the mirror. It's like becoming my own hype man. I always talk about that. You are your best hype person. If you're not hyping up yourself, you can't really expect nobody else to hype you up. So today, we are going to understand a little bit more about why self-talk is so important. Remember that your brain doesn't distinguish between internal and external speech. Talk is talk. So if you are talking negatively to yourself in your mind, and you're also speaking negatively when you come out of your mouth, like I used to have a bad habit of saying, you're so stupid, whenever I would mess up on something or make a mistake. And it wasn't until I started to realize how powerful my words were, that my word is actually my wand, that I started to become more aware of that. And even though it may seem like something that's flipped, I actually want to make sure that I'm speaking positively with the words that come out of my mouth. Similarly for my mind, I want to make sure that the thoughts that I'm thinking over and over again are actually positively feeding my reality. Self-talk activates both speech and listening. And so that mirror communication is going to be activating those areas that you want to be activated. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is about pattern recognition. We've talked over the last few days about habit stacking and about the way that you create new neural pathways in your brain. And mirror work is another opportunity for you to do just that. Your brain actually looks for evidence of your beliefs, and self-talk creates patterns. What you are saying about yourself, you will begin to believe about yourself, whether you're saying those things out loud or just in your mind. You begin to notice that your life is actually matching your self-talk. And so by going in front of the mirror, you are now creating an emotional connection with yourself and creating a connection with a new set of beliefs that you will use to empower you every single day. Positive self-talk is what we're going to use to empower you and to build momentum as you move towards using mindful mornings to transform your everyday life. Now, there are 3 different types of self-talk that I want you to pay attention to as you start to do this mirror work. The first kind is what you're probably accustomed to. The I can't, the I'm not good enough, the what if I fail kind of conversations. You have to be careful and very observant because sometimes these different ways of limiting self-talk, they show up in a sneaky kind of way. So you have to pay attention to when you are denying yourself access to something or you're denying trying something new because a little voice in your head is giving an excuse for why it's not possible. Another type of self-talk that I want you to pay attention to is the supportive self-talk. This is something that I can honestly say that I thought I was doing, but now I'm actually observing myself doing it much more. I literally can see myself talking more in a supportive way to myself. And I say, oh, I'm doing that more often now. This doesn't happen overnight, guys. I've been doing this for a few years now, and it really does take intention. Things like, I can handle this. You got this, girl. Everything is always working out for you. I'm learning and growing. I choose to believe in myself. Do they sound familiar? These actually sound like affirmations too, right? Well, that's because supportive self-talk is an affirmation. It is an affirming thought that then has become words. Empowering self-talk sounds like, I am capable. I trust myself. I trust my abilities. I create my success. When you talk like that, now you just feel like you want to just sit up straight or stand up straight because you feel that empowerment literally happening on the inside when you're saying these things to yourself. Now, let's do a practice session together. All right. So you are going to do this practice session because this is also your challenge. So whether you have already gotten ready for today or you're going to be able to spend some time in the mirror, not just getting yourself fixed up for work, but actually paying attention to yourself and empowering yourself, we're going to do this work together. So that's your challenge, is to actually do this mirror work. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to stand in front of a mirror. Right now, you are my mirror. I can actually see myself because I'm recording this video, so I'm using that as my mirror. You want to start off by taking 3 grounding breaths. So we're going to breathe in for 4 counts and then exhale for 4 counts. And we're going to do that 3 times. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. I won't stop to count because you guys should be counting your breaths by now. Okay? Now that you are centered and grounded, we're going to actually set up that initial connection, that initial point of connecting to yourself. This is simply for you to look at yourself in the mirror without judgment. Stop picking yourself apart. Do not look at the pimple that may be staring back at you. Okay? Just notice any urge to look away from yourself. If you feel uncomfortable with looking at yourself, just stay with the discomfort for a few moments and really look deeply into your own eyes. Then you want to start with some inner dialogue. This is where it can actually be nice, guys. It can be fun. Hello, Stacy. How are you doing? So say hello to yourself. Use your name. Ask yourself how you're doing. Even compliment yourself. Not looking too bad today now. Or you can even be candid and say, boy, your eyes them look a little tired. Let's work on that together. You can also deepen your practice by being vulnerable with yourself. Practice self-compassion. Whatever emotions you feel, allow them to surface. Don't try to suppress yourself. If you want to cry, if you feel the urge to cry because you haven't actually looked at yourself deeply before, go ahead. Get it out there. Spend a minute letting it all out. Mirror work can actually be a very emotional process. Sometimes it brings up very strong emotions. You want to get that physical release going. If you need to let the tears flow, let them flow. If you're not feeling like crying, but you do feel an emotional response to looking at yourself, place your hand on your heart. Feel the emotion in your body. Allow yourself to actually feel. Now, there are some times where you may need to use a verbal release. So those I statements, I feel good in my body. I know I can do this. I believe in myself. You can use those kind of statements to help to create a verbal release of the emotions that may be coming up. So I want you to actually try to incorporate mirror work as a part of your daily routine, even once or twice a week. I find that it's coming up a lot more spontaneously for me. Sometimes I'll walk into the mirror and I'll notice myself. And I'll say, hey, girl, oh, you are so beautiful. Or boy, you man, things are going for you today. No, you're going to have a great day. You're going to make this day your own. Start to get into the habit of having those conversations with yourself and looking at yourself while you're having it, not just rushing through and not paying attention to creating that connection. And then maybe before you go to bed at night, you can do an evening check-in. See how you're feeling. Ask yourself, how are you feeling? How was today? You can even talk about to yourself the things that you are grateful for that will help you to take your gratitude practice to another level. So just to reiterate, guys, your challenge today has 3 parts. You want to take at least 2 to 3 minutes to create that connection. Use some words of affirmation to reaffirm yourself and to reaffirm the work that you are doing for yourself. Now, I know that this challenge has been a challenge for some of you, and I just want to applaud you for completing week 1. You are growing and you are glowing. I can see from all the way over here. Trust me. Your growing edge today is actually facing yourself with complete honesty and compassion. Your glow is the courage to deepen your relationship with yourself and with the work that you're doing to create your own personal progress. Nobody can do this work for you but you. Whether you have a coach or a therapist or a mentor, you have to do this work for yourself. So just keep on growing and glowing, guys. I'm here to be your partner and your guide. Can't wait to see you in week 2 of the Mindful Momentum Challenge. Take care.